this is Jamie Magridge. Welcome to Jamie's Craft Table. Today I'm going to show you how I made this card. So let's get started. I'm going to probably change up this piece here, because this was a piece from an old paper pumpkin. And so I'll show you what I'm using. For my cardstock, I have a scrap of old olive. I have a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of Daffodil Delight. I have a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of Designer Series paper. Now this is a retired paper, but you can use any paper you like that is double-sided, that you like both sides of. I have a 4 1/4 by 11 of thick that I've scored at 5 1/2. Okay. Then from Hues of Happiness, Designer Series paper. It's actually from this piece here. I've die cut out a bunch of the flowers, and this was one that was left over. And then I fussy cut out, I don't know if you can even see them, these little flowers in between. I fussy cut out a few of those. So those are right here. I'm just going to leave them in this box so I don't lose them. Okay, then I'm using the Bough Punch, Memento Black ink. I'm going to use this butterfly from Happy Hedgehogs and this sentiment from Nature's Prince, Best Wishes and Happy Thoughts. And then instead of this, I'm going to try using this die. I've already cut it out from the Nature's Prince dies. Okay, so let's get started. This is not complicated, it just looks hard. I'm going to bring in my trimmer as well. Let's move this out of the way. Turn this so you can see it. We're going to start with our base card. Now this is 4 1/4 inches, so we need to make a mark at half of that is 2 1/8. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to come here and I'm going to go at 2 1/8. And I'm going to bring in my scoring blade and I'm just going to make a little tick there. I don't know if you can see it. I just want to make a little bit of a mark there, so I can, no, I don't think you can see it. And then I'm going to cut from that mark to the fold on both sides. And don't discard these pieces, because those will be the pieces we use for the rest of it. So we're going to put that tick mark in the slot. I'm going to put this fold just to the slot. I don't want it in the slot because I don't want to cut into the card base. And then I'm going to cut. Okay, there's that piece. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And I'm going to flip it over because I find it easier. So I'll put this in the slot. This one just to the slot. And I'm going to cut. Okay, so that gives us that part of the card. Then these will go here. With these flip over and make that cross part. Okay, so then how are we going to do the decorative layer on it? And that's the DSP piece. We're going to do the same thing. This is 4 inches by 5 1/4. So we're going to go at 2 inches. We're going to make a little mark. And I just go in with my nail. It's just easier for me. Then I'm going to go from that mark to the corner. This time you can go right to, make sure the corner's in the track. Cut a slice. Do the same thing on the other side. Okay, and that'll give us our layers. These will get turned over to get glued onto here. To get glued onto here. And this piece gets glued onto here. Alright, so let's do that. We're done with our trimmer. Let's go ahead and adhere this one first. This is that hand penned paper. There's one in the new catalog that's hand penciled. That would work really well for this. But this is what I had, so. Alright. Let's adhere these to this. I'm going to bring in my bone folder because this has got it cut on this side, so this has a little bit of a lip there. I kind of want to take that off. So I'm just going to rub it with my bone folder, and that'll push that down. I have a tendency to push kind of hard. I don't need to with this trimmer, but habits are hard to break sometimes. Alright, and again I'm going to rub my bone folder down that edge to get that smoothed out. Okay, now let's put this yellow piece on. The Daffodil Delight piece is going to go here. Now I do want to stamp a sentiment on there. So before I adhere it, in case I make a mistake, I'm going to put it where I want it, and I want my sentiment to be behind this. So I'm going to bring in my stamp. Ink it up with Memento black ink. And I think I want it about there. I suppose I could put it up higher. Let's put it up a little higher. Okay, and then I'm going to take that little butterfly. Stamp one here. I'll stamp one over here as well. Where do I want the second one? I'll put it there. Okay. I'm going to do 3. There we go. Okay. See, that hides by that. Okay, so now we can adhere this Daffodil Delight piece. You could stamp it, glue it first if you want, but I have a tendency to not always stamp well. Okay, let's put the ink away so we don't mess things up. Close this down. Now these pieces are going to go here like this. You don't want them hanging off, so you want to figure out where exactly you want them. It's going to be like a 1/2 inch space between the edge here and this. You want this edge to be parallel. Like that. So we're not going to put any adhesive here. We're just going to put it on this top part, and we're going to use dimensionals. Really don't need this many, but you want to make sure they don't go off of this triangle part. Okay, so line that up again. Okay, there's that one. Now this one just needs the dimensionals on this end and a couple right there. So I think what I'm going to do is put a dimensional here. One close to it. And then I'll put a dimensional on this point. I'll line that up. There we go. Okay, now we can bring in those elements that we cut. What did I do with that? There it is. Okay, so instead of that black lacy piece, I'm going to try this. And I'm going to use another piece of dimensional. I'm going to put a couple in the center. Figure out where you want them. Get one right there. Okay. And I'm going to bring in my daffodil, or old olive, excuse me, scrap, and my bough punch. And I'm going to punch once for both of them. And then I just need a couple more of the smaller ones. So I think that's all I need. Okay. I'll bring in my flower. I'll bring in another dimensional, and I'll put a dimensional in the center. Let's use 2. Let's put that where we want it there. I'll bring in these. Add some glue on the back. Tuck that in there. These little sprigs. Just putting the glue on the stem. Oops. Put one down here. Okay, then let's bring in those little flowers. They're teeny tiny. Just going to use glue, or you could use glue dots. tuck a couple of those in. Let's see, do I want this one up here? I think I want it right there. Okay, well there's our card. Slightly different than the original because I used that lace piece here. What do you think? Well, thank you so much for joining me today at Jamie's Craft Table. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you can find a little bit of time to play with some stamps, ink, and paper. Now, this is a pretty simple card, really. It just looks complicated, so try it with whatever paper you have. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.